LivingEmunah, book number 2 by Rabbi David Asher, part 6, Perfect Timing. The Chovesh Halevot writes in Sha'ar HaBitachon, chapter 3, that Hashem never takes his mind as it were off of us, not even for a second. He knows everything about us. He knows precisely what we need, and he plans the salvation that we need long before we ever know about the problem. When we look back and see how Hashem was planning and working behind the scenes, we receive so much encouragement and inspiration, and we feel so close to him. We are reminded that he is with us all times and is constantly looking out for us. This past Motzei Tisha B'Av, a rabbi from our community woke up at 3:30 a.m. with chest pain. He woke his wife, and they were uncertain whether he was just experiencing indigestion or if perhaps this was something serious. Just to be safe, they decided to call Hatzolah. They were renting a home in Lakewood for the summer, and they did not have the number for the Lakewood division of Hatzolah. However, the wife saw that on the phone, staring her right in the face, was the word Hatzolah next to the speed dial. She called and asked that they send someone, adding that this was not an emergency and sirens should not be sounded so as not to wake any neighbors. The rabbi went downstairs to wait for the knock on the door, and within 30 seconds, Hatzolah members along with paramedics were at the door. They brought with them a special high-tech machine that tests the heart, and they detected that the rabbi was in the midst of a massive heart attack. Then suddenly the rabbi lost consciousness. He had no pulse and he seemed lifeless. The paramedics switched the button on the machine and immediately began shocking his heart. Thankfully, they were able to bring him back to consciousness. It turned out that the rabbi had, at that moment, suffered the most severe type of heart attack. The LAD artery was fully blocked. This artery is nicknamed the widow maker because if it abruptly becomes blocked, it causes a massive heart attack that generally leads to a sudden death. In describing the rabbi's condition, the doctor who treated him said that normally at the time of a heart attack, the electric current is dimmed and machines can bring it back to regular strength. In the rabbi's case, however, the lights were completely out, and they could come back on only if Hashem turned the switch. Even if one does not want to accept that this was an open miracle, the only way the rabbi could be saved was by being shocked immediately at the time of the heart attack. The Hatzolah members reported that they had never before succeeded in bringing someone back after that kind of heart attack. Moreover, this kind of heart attack is very difficult to detect. The rabbi's symptoms were not signs of a heart attack. The paramedics were able to detect it only because they had with them a special machine which was then able to immediately start shocking their heart. If they had not detected a heart attack with this machine, they would have started CPR. The amazing thing about this story is that Hatzolah vehicles are never equipped with this special machine. They have defibrillators but not detectors. Why did Hatzolah volunteers have the detection machine with them? And why were they so close to Rabbi's house at 3:30 in the morning when they received a call? The first part of the answer is that during the previous day, Tisha B'Av, the rabbi's wife viewed the Chofetz Chaim Heritage Foundation video and was very inspired. She committed herself to putting into practice the message she learned from the video, the message of being forgiving and indulgent. At 1:30 a.m., 2 hours before her husband's heart attack, the woman received a text message that upset her and could have potentially caused a major dispute. She immediately gave in and did not make any issue of the matter at all. She later said that perhaps Hashem gave her this opportunity to earn the merit she needed to save her husband. After her husband's heart attack, she called the Chofetz Chaim Heritage Foundation to thank them for the inspiring video and told them about her husband's heart attack. The person on the other line enthusiastically informed her that there is much more to this story. That person's brother-in-law is a member of Lakewood's Hatzalah division, and on the morning of Tisha B'Av, he received a call from his son's sleep-away camp that his son's blood pressure had dropped drastically, the result of an infection that harmed his heart. The clinic where his son was treated wanted to transfer him to a nearby hospital, but the father asked that the diagnosis be emailed to him so he could show it to his doctor. His doctor saw the diagnosis and determined that the condition was quite serious. The boy, he said, needed to be transferred as soon as possible to the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. The clinic refused to transport the boy so far away when there was a hospital nearby, so the father who drove the Hatzalah ambulance decided he would pick up his son and bring him to Philadelphia. It would take him 3 hours to get to the camp and then 4 hours to reach Philadelphia. His doctor instructed him to bring special heart equipment along with him and a team of paramedics in case they are needed along the way. This is how the special machine, which was ultimately used to save the rabbi's life, ended up in an ambulance of Lakewood Hatzalah. After a full day of traveling, the ambulance and paramedics made their way back to Lakewood. Everyone was exhausted. They reminded the driver not to miss their exit 89. But the driver somehow missed their exit anyway. He had to proceed to exit 91, get off the highway there, and then drive back. When they got off the highway at exit 91, they received a call about the rabbi. At that moment, they were just 20 seconds away from the house. They sensed that this was from heaven sent, as they had reminded the driver to get off at the right exit, but he missed it. Despite the fact that the call did not sound urgent, they nevertheless brought in the entire team of paramedics along with a special machine. It was used the second it was needed. So many things had to happen for the rabbi's life to be saved. He woke up. The phone number was on the phone, and the Hatzalah vehicle with the team of paramedics and the exact equipment the rabbi needed happened to be practically at his doorstep at 3:30 a.m. As it says in the Psalms 121 and verse 4, Hashem never sleeps and is always watching over us to protect us. After this incident, the owner of the Lakewood home, which the rabbi and his wife were renting, phoned to see if the rabbi was all right. The rabbi's wife thanked her for having Hatzalah's number saved on the phone. "Wow," the woman said, "that is my old phone. I had a new phone system in the house, and I was planning to buy another one to bring to the mountains for the summer, but I never got around to do it. So I decided to take my new phones with me, and I plugged in that old phone right before I left." The new phone did not have Hatzalah's number on it. Hashem was planning this salvation months in advance. Also, it turned out that the boy in the sleepaway camp was misdiagnosed and his problem had nothing to do with the heart. Baruch Hashem, he is recovering nicely. We are so fortunate that we have Hashem taking care of us at all times and working to solve our problems well before we even know about them.